What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the JW Show. I am the Kid JW. And diving onto this episode here, before we jump into it, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe as well. Now, you guys may have noticed I am sitting down, actually, for the last few videos. Yeah, I didn't feel like walking around for these videos, so I just figured I'll just go back to my old routine and sit down for a while. All right, weather's making my knee achy. But in this episode here, we are talking about no, we're not. We are talking about networking. Yes, networking. Because let's face it, networking is the way to go. And when I say networking, I mean networking, whether it's connecting with a person who may have their own business or connecting with somebody who is looking for a job or something, whether it's business or personal. And you never know. And that's why I always stress to people, networking can open a lot more doors than you can by doing it solo. Okay. Now, doing networking on the business side is more along the lines how I like to look at it as, obviously, I do this, YouTube. And I like to find myself networking or getting advice, not only getting advice, but also getting feedback, criticisms, advice, and watching people who do the same thing that I do. Or people in general who's in this area, because they can teach me things that I may not know on my own, or they can give me pointers to grow the overall channel and the brand. So by me networking with them, learning, talking with them, and just watching their content can actually help me out. And also when networking, I feel you also have to have a very open mind. Okay. A lot of times people have this approach of, now I won't say a lot of times, but some people have the approach of when they're networking, they get closed minded. They don't want to take other people's advice. And that can sometimes close a door that you could have had open if you just had an open mind. Take case in point. My cousin's wife, Mr. John tried it. I think you guys seen. If you guys follow me on Facebook, you guys seen me post his videos, his food reviews. But Mr. John tried it. His wife, she gave us some pointers. She hit me up on the Facebook page and was like, "Hey, your content's really good, but hey, look more at the camera instead of looking down a lot. So that way, people, see you essentially and whatnot." And I took that advice, was like, you know what? I can actually do that. I can actually look more up at you guys and get the content instead of just looking down all the time. Because sometimes when I'm doing this, I'm looking at pointers and wanting to keep my mind on track so I don't ramble. But I also got to maybe look up. So that's a prime example of networking on the business side, because when you get feedback from somebody who watches your content, you can also take that information to help grow your own channel and make it better. Now, on the personal side, networking is also very important, because you never know what you may run into. You may run into somebody who, for example, may be looking for an employee for a business that they own. And just by you talking to them and networking with them, hey, you can either become that employee at their business, or you can refer them to somebody that they need. Or also, for example, you may be looking for a place to, move to or something, and you may be talking to somebody at the barbershop, restaurant, or even in the store, and they may say, "Hey, I have a friend who has an apartment complex. They got some vacancies, I believe. Hey, here's their number. Give them a shout." Boom, you got yourself an opportunity right there. So networking works both on the business and the personal side, and more so on the personal side also, to where, let's say, for example, you need help finding someone to cut your grass, or doing something around the house, or your car needs to be fixed. Just by having a small network of people that you can network and reach out to can help you find those resources and better yourself. And you have to have an open mind, especially we already talked about having an open mind on the business side, but when you're networking on a personal side, you also have to have a very good open mind. You have to learn to be like, hey, I'm going to go into this open-minded, listen to what they're saying, understand what they're saying, understand that, hey, they're not attacking me or trying to tell me what to do per se, but they're giving me advice. Let me look at it from that point and understand the knowledge, understand the information, dissect the information, and then implement whatever you want to implement from whatever experience you have with that networking. So you got to have an open mind. And you never know when you're networking on the personal side, just by being nice and professional and courteous to somebody, and you networking, you grab their number, and they have a positive experience, you never know. That opportunity can come back around and open a door that you never knew existed just by you networking. So make sure that you always be out there. Don't be afraid to network, whether it's personal life or business. Business life, if whatever you're doing business-wise, if you're a small business owner, make sure you surround yourself and don't be afraid to network with other small business owners or even get advice from people who's been in your shoes. Because if you have an open mind, you can get further ahead when you have an open mind and you're willing to be taught and change. That's my take on networking, because networking is a very valuable tool. If it wasn't valuable, we wouldn't have LinkedIn, now would we? Let me know, what are your thoughts on networking? Are you the kind of person who networks on a lot of things? Or are you kind of like to sit back and go solo on things? Let me know, because I'm always curious of what you guys think. And also, I'm curious to see how you network, or whatever it is, network with me. Drop your comments in the below on what you guys do to network with things, whether it's personal, business, whatever. Let me know in the comments below. And of course, we always learn from each other here at the JW Show. And you know my favorite line, right? I'll catch you guys on next episode. Later.